Now come to the stage of double entry system. What are the stages of double entry system? So first stage is your original record. First of all, transactions are recorded through the journal or subsidiary books. So original record through the journal or subsidiary books, and for that, for recording, first of all documentary evidence must be there with us. Thereafter the transactions are classified, means we prepare the ledger of each and every account. We prepare the ledger of each and every account. Separate account will be prepared for each particular transactions. Thereafter we prepare the trial balance on the basis of ledger balance. To check the arithmetical accuracy, we prepare the trial balance to check the arithmetical accuracy, that every debit have a corresponding credit is done or not. If every debit have a corresponding credit is not done, then our trial balance will mismatched. After trial balance, to know the income or gain, know the profit or loss of the business, we prepare profit and loss account or trading and profit and loss account. If it is a trading business, then we prepare trading and profit and loss account, and if it is a manufacturing business, then we prepare the profit and loss account only. Thereafter we prepare the balance sheet to know the financial health of the enterprise, that how much assets the business have and what are the liabilities, external liabilities, and what is the net worth of the business. So we prepare the balance sheet. So these are the stages of double entry system: original record through the journal or subsidiary books, second classification, then trial balance, then profit and loss, and then balance sheet. Okay. Now come to the advantage of double entry system. Advantage of double entry system. Double entry system. What are the advantages of this system? First one is it's very scientific, that every debit have a corresponding credit and the established rules are applied, which is accepted all over the country, all over the world. It is very scientific. Complete record of every transaction. Complete record of every transactions with certain process. Preparation of trial balance from the ledger balance. Preparation of trading and profit and loss account to know the profit and loss of the business. Knowledge of financial position, financial health of the enterprise, how much assets the business have, what are the liabilities of the business, and what's the net worth of the business, how healthy our business is. Knowledge of financial position, knowledge of various information regarding the creditors, regarding the debtors, regarding all expenses, losses, everything, cost of productions, everything, knowledge of various informations. Lesser possibility of fraud, because the system is too scientific, so there is a lesser chance of or no chance of any fraud. Legal approval, it is approved by the law, it is approved by the companies, it is approved by the income tax department, tax authority, and it is approved all over the world. Comparative study is possible. We can do the comparison of one industry with the another industry, one company with the another companies. We can do the comparison because same accounting rules are applied by each and every companies, each and every business. So comparison is possible. Whether it's a intra-firm comparison or inter-firm comparison, it is only possible because all the companies, it is possible because all the companies and business follow the same rules and same concept, same principles and guidelines, same standards. Helpful to the management in decision making. It is helpful for the management to take the decision regarding the selling price, take the decision regarding the reduction in wastage or reduction in certain expenses. All the strategy what the management is going to prepare or draft, that before making those strategy or planning, management has to see the accounting first, that what are the expenses, what are the incomes, what are the assets, where the expenses are more, where the expenses are less, where we can do more efforts. So helpful to the management in making decision to increase the sales volume, to reduce the cost, and so many factors. Suitable for all business enterprise. Double entry system is suitable for every business enterprise because it is too scientific, okay, and it is acceptable anywhere, everywhere. It is acceptable all over the world. So double entry system is a good system which is accepted by everyone. It is too scientific. That's why it is suitable for every business enterprise. Okay. Disadvantage of double entry system. First demerit says number of books are kept under this system, that's why it is too expensive. Difficult to apply the rules of debit and credit. Obviously, if the knowledge is less, then it is difficult. Only arithmetical accuracy is checked through the trial balance. Other errors are not checked, like the errors of commission, error of omission, error of principal, and compensating errors. Error of omission means if any transaction is forget to record, then that cannot be checked. Error of commission means if the wrong amount is recorded in the books of account, that cannot be checked. Error of principal means fail to discriminate between revenue expenditure and capital expenditure, revenue income and capital income, then that type of errors cannot be checked. Compensating errors means when one error neutralize the effect of another error with the same amount, then that cannot be checked. Okay, these are the demerits or disadvantages of the double entry system. However, in fact, there is no such demerits exist in the double entry system except money measurement. Only those transactions are recorded which can be measured in terms of money, and the events which are very important but cannot be measured in terms of money are not getting place in the books of account. This is only the one major demerits of the double entry system. Now the next question, I'm giving one question. Next question is, this is one of the question. Classify the following into personal account, real account and nominal account. Classify the following accounts, these accounts. 1 to 17. Classify the following account into personal, real and nominal. Now you have to identify. For instance, first machinery. Machinery is the assets. So all assets comes under which account? Real account. Capital. Capital comes under personal account. Capital comes under personal account. It comes under personal account. It's a natural. Stock is your assets, comes under real account. Bad debts, it's a loss, comes under nominal account. All losses comes under, expenses and losses comes under nominal account. All expenses and losses, incomes and gains comes under nominal. Goodwill, intangible assets comes under real account. It's an assets. Sales is your income, comes under nominal account. Nominal account, it's your income, it's your revenue, comes under nominal account. Drawings comes under personal account, comes under personal account. It's a natural. Salary, it's an expense, comes under nominal account. All expenses and losses comes under nominal account. Outstanding salary comes under personal account. It's a representative person. Insurance, it's an expense, comes under nominal account. All expenses. Insurance, prepaid insurance, personal account. It's a representative person. Interest received is your income, comes under nominal account. All income comes under nominal. Interest paid, it's an expense, it also comes under nominal account. All income and expenses comes under nominal account. All expenses and losses and incomes and gains comes under nominal. Accrued commission, it's a personal account, comes under personal account under the representative person. Unearned commission comes under personal account. Bank is an artificial person created by law. It comes under personal account. Cash is your assets, comes under real account. Cash comes under real account. Okay. Next, debtors comes under which? Personal, real or nominal? Debtors comes under personal account. It's a natural. Creditors also comes under personal. Capital also comes under personal. Bank overdraft also comes under personal. It represents the bank. Bank is the personal account, comes under personal account, under the artificial person. The excess amount is withdrawn from the bank is called bank overdraft. Excess amount is withdrawn from the bank is called bank overdraft. Suppose I have deposited 10,000 in the current account and I have withdrawn 15,000 from the bank. So 5,000 extra amount I have withdrawn from the current account. So that 5,000 which I have excess withdrawn from the bank is called bank overdraft. So bank overdraft indicate the bank, so it's a personal account. Discount allowed is your expense, comes under nominal account. It's your expenses, nominal account. Patents is your assets, real account. Leasehold property, real account. Real account. Leasehold property. LIC, Life Insurance Corporation, it's a artificial person, so comes under personal account. BHU is a university, comes under personal account. Artificial person, artificial, created by law. IIT is also artificial, created by law. Bank, UCO Bank is also artificial person, personal account. ICICI Bank, it's also an artificial person, comes under personal account. Trademark is the assets, comes under real account. Hindalco Industry, artificial person, personal account. Artificial person, created by law, created by company law. So classify the following under personal, real and nominal. Is it clear? Okay.